Hi folks, welcome back to the Amazing Education Station. It's about the information you need to know. It's not about the video. So it's just to listen to. You're not going to get amazing video. But today's topic is about why not to invest in lithium stocks or other stocks that go along with the EV revolution, which is the electric vehicle revolution. And I'm talking about commodities. So nickel, lithium, and cobalt and other things like this. You know, why shouldn't people invest in them? Obviously, sales are going to be higher. People will buy more electric vehicles in the future. They're going to need more lithium, more nickel, more cobalt. Why not invest? So, if you are an investing genius, by the way, this is not investment advice. I'm not an investment advisor. Financial advice. It's not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. However, I'm a master educator and almost an accredited investor. That's almost. You can look into how to become an accredited investor if you are smart enough and save money. Eventually you can do it too. Now, so the question is, commodities, especially lithium, if you are interested in technology, interested in investing, you might notice that lithium-ion batteries are basically going to power many electric vehicles in the future. However, instead of being lithium, manganese, and cobalt, there's a move toward lithium iron phosphate. It's a little bit of less energy dense battery, but it can last and be recharged so many times, so it can last a very, very long time. And it's been called the future of batteries. Lithium iron phosphate, also called LFP. F stands for ferrous, which is also iron, means iron. So, but the situation is, as with many investments, people already know that lithium will be in high demand in the future. And they've known it for a long time. So this is 2022, it's April, and lithium prices have already spiked and they're coming down. And it might be hard to understand, well, you know, how could the price of this material come down when demand is up? So we need more of it than ever. How could the price drop? Well, with the increase in demand that is easily foreseeable, companies and investors and, you know, all sorts of businesses have gone into creating a larger supply, searching the world wherever they are, creating more, making the mines, and so you get into a situation where they can only make so many cars. You know, they don't. There's an interesting chip situation where they didn't have enough computer chips to make the cars. So even though you might also say they don't have enough batteries to make the cars as well, which depending on the company, like Tesla, that's what was holding them back. But then we also had other things like COVID, shutting down factories, so that held them back. And so there's a point where they had the batteries, but they couldn't produce the cars because they couldn't have the factory open, or they didn't have enough chips briefly. And so they had to change that. But the point is, it's not only lithium that is slowing down the production of these cars. So it could be other factors. There might be enough lithium available, and it's something else. Lithium, although it's maybe one of the most important things, but also nickel and manganese and iron. But iron is very easy to come by, it's very common. And yes, nickel, the price of nickel went up, but then it came down. People can provide more nickel. So now that's not to say that people couldn't make money. If you're an amazing investor or if you're a financial advisor, you might know maybe some mining companies that are very well managed, and maybe they will dominate. But the question is, can they maintain a competitive advantage? Or is it an industry like lithium where it may be just too easy for other companies to increase the production? And so any commodities like that, even people recommend investing in gold. And if you watch YouTube videos a lot, you might see gold promoted as a sort of a storage of value when the stock market is very overvalued, and they say, as a way to protect your money and protect your investments, you should have silver and gold, etc. But even the price of gold can come down because of production increases. So if the demand is relatively stable, which demand can also drop if there's a financial crisis and people don't have extra money, if there is a lot of unemployment and bankruptcy, so people get laid off and manufacturing declines. So then suddenly they don't have money to buy gold or to invest more in gold, and they start to sell their gold. That would push the price down. And we're getting very close to a situation where we may have a lot of bankruptcies and layoffs and unemployed people, because we're at the height of so-called malinvestment, where the amount of money being borrowed for investments is at a incredible height, and new companies and new products, for example electric vehicles like these, are coming into existence. People are going wild with so-called speculation and innovation, and they can waste a lot of money on products that are just useless. Electric vertical takeoff and landing craft, the aircraft, who knows who might get into tunnel boring, who knows what money might be wasted in tourism, outer space tourism and developments there. And also internet companies again, which happened back in 2000. There was a huge oversupply and crash in internet businesses. And so these things go in cycles, and we're at the height of amazement and new products and services, and so there are hardly enough employees to go around, and then prices are going up, and so it's hard for companies to make a profit when the prices are so high that people don't have the extra money to buy these innovations and the new innovative services. So not to mention the price of vehicles going extremely high, sucking people's money away, the price of housing going extremely high, taking up the extra money. And so we're very close to a situation where things will, there's just going to be an oversupply, not only of lithium and other materials, but oversupply of goods and services of all kinds. When people don't have the money, then you have a recession. And there's some strong evidence, especially with auto sales in the United States, except for Tesla, most of the auto companies have a sales crash. And it could be that people have just spent their money. They're no longer getting freshly printed extra money from the government, which is a good thing, as the government slowed down and drastically stopped its insane money printing. That's a positive thing. Hopefully they've stopped. This is March of 2022, so April. March is finished. So April 2022, hopefully they've stopped their inflationary money printing, which they were calling quantitative easing, which just tells you, just by the fact that they use some strange metaphor or euphemism, tells you that it's no good, and those guys are just evil. That's right, you heard it. Those evil money printers that are in collusion with the government, basically, as they do throughout time, as they have throughout time, taking the value out of the money supply, the value of the dollar, and making poor people poorer, and just damaging society, as they do again and again and again. The Federal Reserve, central banks all over the world throughout history are they're just mean people, just mean, evil money printers that have gotten rid of any sort of asset-based currency. In other words, to economically rape other people. That's what they've done. And to help their wealthy colluders and scratch the back of the powerful. This is what people in power do again and again. So, because of all this, the inflation caused by these wealthy people, it also is going to cause the crash, as I mentioned, the recession or depression and stock market crash that usually, but not always, goes along with a recession. And so that's another reason why commodity prices will come down, because people won't be able to buy things, frankly. They will be unemployed and sort of homeless, similar to this fellow right here. Out of work, no extra cash, perhaps living on a little bit of, if they're lucky, a little bit of unemployment insurance, but maybe not. It's hard to know. So, yep. Anyway, so yeah, I really strongly recommend against any kind of investing in commodities, and take care.